look at examples of people who've been able to take the body and go. So you have Mirabai. The body disappeared. You have Kabir. The body disappeared. You have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from this side of town. He disappeared into the Krishna Murti. He was singing, entered, body is gone. You have Tukaram. Body disappeared. So, when we talk of ascension, we are talking of an exit which is of this nature, where you will not leave anything behind on planet Earth to come back to. In short, it is like graduating out of a school. You know, if you are in a certain school for 10 years, you have a locker, that locker stays with you. So even if you go from 4th standard to 5th standard, 5th standard to 6th standard, एक आपका locker रहता है, उसमें आप चीजें रखते हैं. You know, you keep your letters, your books. Now when you come to 10th standard, what happens? Board exam के लिए आप जा रहे हैं. आपने board clear कर लिया. Then you will make one trip to school. Surrender the key, take your deposit back, empty the locker, take everything out, and then you never ever come back to that school. Is that clear? So when we are looking at the shift now, we are looking at that last year of being in a certain school, where if we handle the curriculum correctly, and if we do not fail in our board examinations, then we have all the chances of being able to exit from this school taking everything with us. Remember, of course, you are immortal. Because you are an energy, you cannot be created, you cannot be destroyed. So frankly, nirvana is the biggest illusion that religion sells to you. There is no such concept because you cannot never cease to exist. Yes, you can graduate out of one school and you can go into a different school, which can happen. But you will never cease to exist. But when we talk of ascension, we are talking of a shift where I move out of the system, keeping my body intact. Is this clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah? Okay. So if this is clear, then what gets linked also to this particular process? Hey, madam, आपका recorder. अभी ये recording या एक कर्म या रुचि का रिकॉर्ड कर दिया उसे कॉपी कर लेना अभी ऑन कर दूं वरना ये कर्मा भी रह जाएगा पेंडिंग बट मैडम ऑन नहीं हो रहा है तो या तो आपकी बैटरी दे दो आप जस्ट चेक ऑक्सीजन खत्म हो गया नो कमाल है ना हमारी टर्मिनोलॉजी कैसे चेंज हो जाती है अभी आजकल कुछ भी कहते हैं यार ऑक्सीजन खत्म हो गया था बात खत्म एनीवेज ओके सो there is a particular date. I will of course even demystify the date. It's not like yesterday ISC and ICSC results came out. It is not that kind of date. But there's a certain astronomical relevance that coincides with 21st of December 2012, which is why 2012 is largely being looked upon as the prime year of the shift. The shift is a process. It's a process that goes on for nearly 25-30 years. And whether you like it or not, each one of you right now is already in the middle of it. By default, you can't be sitting in this hall and listening to this. So if you are here in this hall at the moment listening to this, it's very clearly because you are meant to listen to it. You cannot get into this by random chance. So somewhere at some level of existence, this awareness is already there. And that's why on a Sunday afternoon, 4 o'clock, it's not the best of times. Nirja came at 3 o'clock and gave me one blasting saying, साला एक संडे मिलता है घर पे आराम करने के लिए उसमें भी युवराज कपाड़िया टपक के टॉप देके सत्यानाश कर देता बट वो सत्यानाशी के बाद भी अगर 4 बजे तुम यहाँ है तो at some level it is meant to go to you. That's why you're here. Okay. Now I'm going to firstly give you, this talk is divided into 4 parts. This was the prelude. भाई 3 घंटे तुम लोगों को एंटरटेन करना है तो थोड़ा मसाला भी डालना पड़ेगा फिर चटनी तरह so I'm going to give you 4 clear segments on this. To start with, I give you a quasi scientific presentation on what basic science is telling us about the shift. Okay, post that we'll go a little bit more into the metaphysics part of it and see with this information on a day-to-day basis, what can I do with my life today so that I can embrace this journey with love, with understanding and with abundance. Because the journey can be absolutely exhilarating, provided we get the fundas clear. So the second part of the presentation will largely lie on the basic laws which are governing our existence here. In the third part, I'll tell you how we misinterpret the laws, because the laws have been in existence from thousands of years. And finally, I'll give you a very brief prelude into the different stages that your body goes through as you are getting ready to ascend. So you can even on a map basis check for yourself where exactly you are swimming in this ocean and what can you do very simply to go to the next level. So probably by the time you leave from here, you are more aware, more educated and more happily empowered than unaware, uneducated and scared. So if I can achieve even that much in 3 hours, I'll be very happy. So the first part of the presentation largely linked to across history, what do we have with ascension in terms of science. Let's begin with the first input that comes, and this comes to us from the Mayans. So we talk a little bit about the Mayans. Okay, 1 second, I need to drink some water. So 5 seconds you can breathe in peace.
Bas.
Okay. Has everybody sitting here heard of the Mayan civilization? Yes, no?
Yes.
More yeses, a few no's. So for the few no's, just to put it into perspective so you don't feel left out. The Mayans were an ancient Incan civilization or a South American civilization. They came into existence around the year 250 BC and predominantly disappeared from the planet around the 17th century. That means they were on Earth for nearly 1700 years. At the moment, currently, there are approximately 6 million descendants of the Mayans across the world. But when I talk of disappeared, from the 17th century onwards, the entire civilization virtually vanished from this planet, leaving behind only the structures that they created. Which means, when you did excavations, you would not find a Mayan skeleton. Normally, when a civilization collapses or dies, and when you do digging, you find their old temples and you find their structures, but you also find their graves. You find bones, you find skulls, you find haddi. So with the Mayan story, absolutely illa. No. Nothing has been found vis-a-vis the physical body, though their temples and structures have been discovered. Now as a civilization, these people were extremely good with mathematics and with astronomy. Astronomy is the science of the planets. And they created a series of calendars, which is currently the subject of a lot of debate and a lot of study as well. Over the last 10 to 15 years, n number of genealogists are actively studying what the Mayan calendars are trying to tell us. Now, one of the calendars that the Mayans created was what was called as the long calendar. And the long calendar largely worked on every single summer and winter solstice for a period of 5,125 years. How many of you know what a solstice is? Anybody has heard what a solstice means? No. Okay. Let's talk about our solar system. We are on planet Earth, we all know this. Okay? Earth is moving around the sun. Now this movement around the sun is not circular. We know this also.
Yes.
It is elliptical. Which means at 2 points on the on the ellipse, the Earth, absolutely, the Earth is the closest to the Sun. And at 2 points, it's the farthest. The 2 points at which the Earth is closest to the Sun becomes the equinox, which means equal day and equal night. And that happens when the Sun is over the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn, 21st March and 21st September. No. Equal day and equal night.
That will happen on the equator.
Equator. And this way is the solstice, where it's the farthest. When the Sun and the Earth are at the farthest points possible. When you have the longest day and the longest night. Now, according to the Mayans, remember 5125 years? Which means the calendar was created about 2000 years back. So 3000 years before and 2000 years later, every single solstice and equinox. We are today following the Georgian calendar. So we are able to pinpoint it down to a date. But when the Mayans created this, no dates were available. Okay? And according to this calendar, the last solstice that we will see on planet Earth coincides with 21st of December 2012, according to this projection. Now, what is special about this story? What is special about, well, every year you have an equinox. So what is special about, solstice. What is special about this solstice? Well, on this particular date, not only do you have the Sun and the Earth that are coming in a straight line. The Sun and the Earth are always in a straight line. Because a straight line connects 2 points. Okay? So, 365 days of the year, the Sun and Earth are in a straight line. But on this particular date, the Sun and the Earth are falling in alignment with the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, we are a part of the Milky Way galaxy. At the epicenter of the Milky Way galaxy is a black hole, which many purists have claimed is the originator of creation for our system. So when people talk of the Big Bang Theory, the Big Bang Theory says that the whole cosmos was born out of a series of cosmic explosions which were exothermic in nature, born out of a zone of nothingness, which then scientists call as a black hole. So on this particular date, we have the Sun and the Earth coming in one alignment with the center of the Milky Way galaxy. This is happening after a time period of approximately 75,000 years. That means for the last 75,000 years of our existence, this arrangement has never happened before. On this particular date, the Milky Way galaxy itself, which is revolving in the Brahman, in the universe, is completing a revolution which is 225 million years. So it's a date which is of great significance as marking the end of several timelines. Now, according to the Mayans, the Sun was considered to be as the paternal energy or the father energy of the universe. And the Milky Way galaxy was considered to be the feminine part of the story, the mother energy of the universe. So on this particular date, you would have the Sun or the father coming in conjunction with the mother, giving birth to what is referred to as a new Earth. For all those of you who are into any kind of spiritual reading, there's a very popular author called Eckhart Tolle, who's written the book called The Power of Now, etc. He's a very, very well-known author. His latest book is called New Earth. At the moment, virtually every New Age spiritual movement, whether it is Art of Living, whether it is Brahma Kumaris, whether it is Kalki Bhagwan's University, Oneness University,